There's a quote of Philip K. Slong that says, "There exists, for everyone, a sentence, a series of words, that has the power to destroy you. Which sentence is it for you?" Not that it destroys me, but it 180s my mood. When people make fun of the way I laugh, which is heartfelt and genuine and a big belly laugh. It's ridiculous and makes 90% of people laugh with me, but there's 10% of people who look at me like I'm insane, and then I can never laugh around them again. The only ones that love you are required to. So I was looking through your browser history. Quote, I am not sure what single quote has the power to destroy me, but these two are the closest. I could never love you after a 2-year relationship with someone. I wish I never had you, my mother. Your cancer has returned. I barely made it through chemo and radiation last time. I think I'll be letting it take me if it comes back. You make me happy, but being with you is making me miserable. Mental illness is insidious. If you think you might suffer from something that's negatively affecting your friendships or relationships, please talk with a therapist or a psychiatrist before it's too late. Sometimes, even after getting treatment, the damage is already done. Trust is earned, but with a lot of people it can only be earned once. You're not the daughter that I wanted. Cut deep, still does. We did everything we could, and I'm sorry for your loss. The paramedics after my mom took a nap on the couch and never woke up. It's been 7 months and 3 days and I'm still destroyed and it plays over and over in my head. I used to be so proud of you. I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that. Quote, I don't love you anymore. It was an offhand comment my mother made while we were arguing about something or other. You're such a burden. Her English isn't great, and it was the first time I'd ever heard her say the word, or even suggest she knew what it meant. We still don't speak much. Edit, made this comment to vent, but it seems it struck a note with a lot of you and confused some of you, so I figured I'd clear the air. My mother was verbally and mentally abusive for my entire young life, and she was a single parent, so I had nowhere else to go. This meant I became a weight on her, but I was made acutely aware of it, frequently. I was a burden though, because I really struggled and fought back and we disagreed on everything, especially things like money and school. I wasted my potential, her words, by not finishing a uni degree and pursuing other prospects, and my life went downhill, but she never bailed me out in a substantial way, no more than small amounts I'd ask to borrow like most 18 and 19 years olds do. Why this hurt though, was that I had turned my life around. I've had a stable job, I had multiple secondary sources of income coming in, and I was giving her a large sum of money every week to support her and her pursuits, without expecting any return. I was helping out, and returning the favor for her taking care of me as a child, which is something she opted into. I found out why she was a single parent when I was about 15. She got knocked up, my bio dad told her to abort, and she didn't want to, so he left. She put this on me, and it was my fault her life was so hard. It took me a long time to come to grips with this. So when she fired that comment off during a random argument about money or politics or my life or whatever, that's why it killed me. We need to talk. Well, several sentences after I found out that my best friend of 15 years is a snake. They include, you don't matter to anyone or anything around you, so it's better that you don't keep denying it. You're useless and a pain and no one's saying this, but really, you should have jumped that afternoon. Quote, nobody actually likes you, we all just pretend to, but you're actually super annoying. I'm disappointed in you. You were a garbage tea parent. We were only your friend because you wouldn't take the hint. Edit, that's a lot of upvotes. I'd also like to add that I don't think my friends actually don't like me, I'm just a very paranoid person and overthink everything. I remember the moment. I was in the hospital, it was my 29th birthday, my girlfriend and I had just been hit by a drunk driver. I was getting glass removed from the laceration in my arm. I was confused, but calm. The surgeons stitched my wounds. My father walked in the room. I had never seen him cry before. He looked at me and broke down. I'm so sorry. She didn't make it. Edit, wow, this blew up. Thanks for all the kind words. The past year has been incredibly difficult. Her presence is sorely missed. I was convinced that she was the one. The person who hit us is in jail for the next 12 years. Please, never ever drink and drive. Get a cab, an Uber, a sober friend. The consequences of drunk driving are deeper than a lost license and a heavy fine. You could ruin lives. You could rip apart families. It isn't worth it. No one wants you here. Anyone can say it. And no matter how much progress I've made, it always rings true. My best friend, do you have a best friend? I thought I did, sad face. I'm going to cut you into little pieces, and put you in a bag then kill myself. My mom, circa 3 hours ago. Stop talking. Your tumor from 3 years ago has returned. Quetzalcoatl, I know your Reddit account is Quetzalcoatl. Your mother has passed. Quote, I was raised by a single mother for most of my life before she remarried, but even then it's always been me and her against the world. Most of who I am, is because of her. I dread the day that she passes on to the next world. I know for a fact, that sentence will destroy me. Not forever, but it will destroy a part of who I am. What if every relationship you've ever been in is somebody slowly figuring out they didn't like you as much as they hoped they would? James Acaster ironically said during his stand-up routine, which otherwise was hilarious. You look like you're going to spend your life having one epiphany after another, always thinking you've finally figured out what's holding you back, and how you can finally be productive and creative and turn your life around. But nothing will ever change. That cycle of mediocrity isn't due to some obstacle. It's who you are. The thing standing in the way of your dreams is that the person having them is you. Quote, unexpected item in the bagging area. You're just like your dad. They know. Spoken by the right person. Me and my female friend are growing apart right now and I'm having a hard time accepting it. Though I haven't brought it up. So MNE would be. I can respond and I'm only pretending to be busy. Can you PLS stop texting me? We aren't like that anymore. Whatever we had, it gone. So just go. Quote. TCH. Like I'm gonna tell you my weakness. What is wrong with you? This crushes me every time I remember it. It's what I shouted at my 4-year-old son after some random thing he did, and it's my most shameful memory. He burst into tears and I worry every day that somehow it's imprinted into his memory and irrevocably altered his personality. I love him to so much, but somehow my brain is just terrible with people, even the people I love the most. I wish I knew what was wrong with me. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. I'm broken to pieces. You're not good enough. I'm sorry, sir, but you'll never walk again. This summer I almost broke my back when a rope swing snapped and I got launched into the rocks. Waiting for the ambulance, not knowing if there was any spinal damage, I was crying not only because of the pain but because I thought I might never be fully functional again. I'm not sure if I could live that way. I'm so dependent on biking and hiking for my mental state. I was extremely lucky that only my back muscles were damaged, my spine was not. God bless deadlifts, those muscles cushioned the fall, and all the milk I've drunk for that sweet bone-strengthening calcium. I'm still not fully recovered, so the deadlifts are on hold, but I'm still hiking and biking. You are the weakest link, goodbye. Quote. You have been accused of insert some impropriety with a minor. I'm a teacher. Just an accusation alone would almost certainly end my career. I literally have nightmares about that garbage. Edit, holy garbage. I went to bed and woke up to 116 replies. Time to start reading Edit 2, apparently y'all just want me to have more nightmares, and I also had to go watch The Hunt, Edit 3, since no one has mentioned it yet. If you want another movie on this subject with outstanding acting, check out Oleana with William H. Macy. I got so mad the first time I saw it, I stormed out near the end. Couldn't handle it. I don't know if I've ever loved anyone. From my fiancé, who had proposed to me a year prior. Spoiler alert, we didn't get married. It did destroy me. I had initiated the conversation about our impending wedding because I was concerned that we weren't working well as a team. I wanted a real family life. I'm still not sure what he wanted, really. I know he is a good person, but when things got tough, I wanted to be able to turn toward my partner for comfort and help and strength so that we could work together to solve whatever we were up against. He wouldn't try counseling. He wouldn't talk to me. Wouldn't tell me what was wrong. Said that I was selfish for wanting us to have more similar work schedules. Said that it was weird for me to want us to have more intimacy and happy fun time when we weren't trying to conceive. Insisted it was fine that we only saw each other 5 hours or so per week. I worked weekdays during the day, he worked mostly Saturday to Wednesday nights. It was hard. I loved him. I wanted more. He didn't. We slept in separate rooms that night and called off our engagement shortly thereafter. We shared our small house in separate bedrooms for 6 months after that while he made arrangements to move out of state. It was sad. It was a grieving period. But from destruction comes the opportunity for renewal. I lived alone for a while. Got to know myself again. Made a new routine. Started over. Several months later I reconnected with someone really special. He changed my life. We're married now. I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't had that conversation with my ex. Would we have gotten married? Had kids? Been miserable? Been okay with settling for each other? Could we have worked through things together and been genuinely happy? I don't know. I don't really need to know. My husband is the person I'm supposed to be with. He's my person, and I know I am his. He's my everything. I wake up in the morning so grateful for the gift of real, true love in my life. And I never would have gotten to this place if it weren't for the worst thing that ever happened to me.